This happened in November of 2015, on a weekend night. My son was 7 years old at the time. His name is Mateo. He had 4 friends over for a sleepover that night. My wife wasn't home, so I was the only adult in the house. I didn't want to seem overprotective, but I still kept an eye on them from time to time. They were all in Mateo's room, making a lot of noise, laughing, shouting, playing with toys, normal kid stuff. Every now and then, if things got too loud or suddenly too quiet, I'd walk over to the door and listen for a few seconds. Yeah, it might sound a little weird, but it was actually my wife's idea. And if you're married, you know you don't ignore instructions like that. At one point, the noise got pretty loud, so I checked again. They were just playing. Nothing unusual, so I went back to the living room and turned the TV back on. A few minutes later, I started hearing something different. Tapping. Not from inside the room, but from the window. I muted the TV and listened carefully. It was soft, repetitive, like someone tapping from the outside. For a second, I thought the kids were just messing around, so I ignored it. But then, everything went completely silent, and that wasn't normal. I got up immediately and walked down the hall. I stood outside the door, listening. I could hear quiet whispering, soft giggling, like they were trying not to be heard. So I opened the door. All 4 kids were sitting on the floor, surrounded by toys. Everything looked normal, until I noticed the window. It was wide open. That's when I felt it, that subtle, sinking feeling in my stomach. I told them to close the window and keep the noise down. Then I shut the door and stepped into the bathroom for a second. And that's when I saw it. Out of the corner of my eye, a dark shape passed by the window. Outside, I froze for a second, then rushed straight back to the bedroom. I opened the door and told the kids not to go near the window, not to go outside. And then something hit me. I looked around the room again, counted. 1, 2, 3, 4. There were only 4 kids. There had been 5. My heart dropped. I looked at Mateo and asked him, "Where's Daniel?" All 4 of them slowly pointed toward the window. One of the boys said, almost whispering, "He went with the pirate." Another one let out a nervous laugh. Mateo looked at me and said, "He said they were going to find treasure." In that moment, I knew something was very wrong. I ran out of the room, straight to the front door, and threw it open. And that's when I saw them. A man, holding Daniel's hand, walking toward a car. I yelled as loud as I could. The man stopped. He turned his head and looked right at me. For a second, we just stared at each other. Then he let go of Daniel's hand, got into a tan-colored sedan, and sped off, gone in seconds. I ran to Daniel, grabbed him, and brought him back inside. The sleepover was over. I called every parent and told them to come pick up their kids, immediately. Some of them didn't understand at first. A few were upset, but once they realized what had happened, they came right away. That night, I didn't sleep. Later, the kids told me everything. They said a man came up to the window, knocked softly, and opened it from the outside. He spoke in a playful voice, like a pirate. He told them he had hidden treasure and needed help finding it, and somehow, that was enough. Inside my own house, with me just a few rooms away, that man convinced a child to climb out of a window and go with him. And that is the part I can't stop thinking about. This happened when I was 15. It was just a normal night, and like most nights back then, we had nothing to do. I was with my friend Valeria and my best friend Lucia. We wanted somewhere to smoke, somewhere no one would bother us. There were woods just a short walk from Valeria's house, and being dumb, adventurous teenagers, we thought it was the perfect idea. Looking back, I really wish we had just stayed in her backyard, watching scary videos or something, but we didn't. We went into the woods. At first, everything felt normal. We walked, laughed, smoked, just messing around. For a while, it actually felt like a good decision. The area was open enough that you could see if anyone was coming or going, or at least, that's what we thought. There was one house near the woods, old, worn down, with faded blue metal siding, and pigs in the backyard. We used to joke about it all the time, saying it looked like something out of a horror movie. That night, it didn't feel funny anymore. As we were heading out of the woods, we saw it. A truck, an old bluish-gray pickup, just sitting there. The engine was running. At first we laughed, and for some reason, we started running, like it was a game. But then, the truck started moving. It was following us. Every time we stopped, it stopped. That's when it stopped being funny. We ran for real. There was a small hill nearby, and we hid behind it, trying to stay out of sight. The truck drove past. We stayed there for a bit, not saying a word. Eventually, we convinced ourselves it was nothing, just some random person. We laughed it off and kept walking toward the exit. But a few minutes later, we froze. Headlights, right at the entrance, blocking the way out. No one said anything. We just looked at each other, trying to figure out what to do. I tried to see inside the truck. All I could make out was a man, big, wearing a hat and a red shirt. I couldn't see his face, and somehow, that made it worse. Lucia pulled out a small pocket knife, but I knew that wasn't going to help much. I took it from her, and we ran, back into the woods. We didn't stop until we thought we were far enough away. That night, none of us really talked about it, but we all knew something wasn't right. Months passed. We stayed away from those woods completely, until September. It was Valeria's birthday, and somehow, we made the same mistake again. There's more of us this time. It's fine. There were 8 of us, 6 girls, 2 guys. We thought that made us safe. It didn't. We went back in. After walking for a while, we found a path we had never explored before. To get to it, we had to go down a steep little hill. At the bottom, the path split in 2. We went left first. It didn't go far. It led to a strange structure, like someone had started building something and just abandoned it. There was a wooden ladder, a small fire pit, and something else, something that didn't make sense. Saws, hanging from strings, tied between trees, gently swaying, like they had been placed there for a reason. We didn't take it seriously, not then. We kept going, took the other path, and not far down, we found it. A wooden structure, tall, simple, but unmistakable. It looked like a gallows. There was a rope, tied into a noose. On the ground, an old pair of shoes and a shovel. The air felt different, heavy, too quiet. No one laughed, no one made jokes. We just stood there, staring. Then we took pictures and left, fast. That was the last time I ever went into those woods. And to this day, there's something I can't stop thinking about. The truck, the man, that house by the woods, and everything we found out there. Because if all of it was connected, then that night, when we thought we were being chased, we weren't just running away from someone, we were running from something that had already been there for a long time, waiting.